anatomical. Uh, if anyone here is well versed in that, let me know. But as far as I know, the best person when it comes to anatomy, most knowledgeable that we have with us, clearly that would be you.
Vincent just sort of like leans left and right, sort of like stretching his neck a bit. Like, all right, let's get into it. That is under. I don't disagree, sir, but this is under some core assumption that it's more humanoid. But I'm ready to delve into unexplored territory, even if it's in the guts of some monster.
Well, if it comes to that, then, well, I expect you to act accordingly. But regardless, let's stick with the magic theory first. It is moonlight. I've never seen moonlight change a person's physical form. Then again, I can't recall ever seeing it change someone's mental capacity either, but here we are.
Moonlight can be revealing if things are usually altered form-wise, so there is precedent.
Shape changer.
He snaps his finger. Werewolves, right. Duh. That's all the time.
Yes, all the
Shape
time.
changer's
How often
weird.
do you see werewolves?
I know, right?
Yeah, I see Vaso elbows all. Yeah, how often do you see werewolves? Shut up!
Dude, man, that's not a werewolf. That's one where man.
Alright. he turns and begins like jabbing into Voss. Let it be known, as I was remaking Zoloshit to be his new class, he's empowered now by the way. Yeah, I remembered that he's like 6'5", so he's pretty fucking tall over Vaso. So he's like, you listen here, I fucking want that. I know you want, I'm just saying. No, I do. You should have both bickering in the background like, no, you listen here.
Okay, go.
Anyway, Oscar just looks over his shoulder at them. Anyway, yeah, there's a lot of precedent for that. Werewolves and other shape changes being revealed by moonlight. Some say it's the Restia's command for them to be exposed.
So it could be something anatomical, in some capacity at least. But regardless, the moonlight is one aspect I would also like to tackle while we still have time before the farmer's market. The disappearances in the interim. Who's making these people disappear and why?
Look, we got something on that, sir.
Oh, let's hear it.
So we took a walk around the place, surveying as ordered. We took a bit of a spin towards the lake-bound road. Saw a mirror. Or not a mirror, it's mirrors, a bridge full of them. All of them dangled on some rope or strings, some such, hanging off the railings.
Yes, a local folk tale. What about it?
Of course, it's a fucking local folk tale. Just thought might be something that caught you guys' interest. It's sort of a anomaly. But there was also a building over there, a ruined watchtower of some sort. Well, I say ruined, but not abandoned. It seemed like it's still being lived in. Maybe a squatter in town or some transient or some such vagrant.
Look over at Urnoff. I don't suppose it's where you and yours are staying.
No. That's Captain Rex's house.
House.
He lives there.
You know, dilapidated tower on the outskirts of town.
He gives like this like pondering look, just sort of like trying to recall his memory. He says it's to watch over the bridge and beyond it. There's no watchtower on the other side, so he takes it upon himself to always be at the edge of trouble. And during the Neverus raids, he's always amongst the first to get into it, so I don't doubt him on being able to hold his own. If you go around the place, don't be surprised if it's trapped towards the bridge side. He does that in case of burglars and such. Interlopers, Nevros infiltrators.
Makes sense.
Kasai just scoffs at the term Nevros infiltrators.
Do you know if
Nevros do not infiltrate. Well, whatever it is. Criminals, smugglers, whatever.
Do you know if his traps lean more towards lethality or just scare them off?
I
Presume
wasn't.
lethality.
I never really stopped by to look there. I don't venture too far out of town. From what one of my colleagues said, I believe it's more arrest and capture. But
Makes sense.
don't hold me to that.
Right. Well, we'll aim to not find out then.
Clearly, with this new context of it being the guard captain's home, is there anything else strange about it?
Not particularly. It's the only watchtower on the road for quite a ways until you hit town. Gestures at Urna. Though without explanation, to say why. It's, I know on it's nice waterfront property, if that's of any interest to you when we get this place rolling. But we didn't stick around too long. The place was, I don't know, pretty straightforward. Broken down watchtower. Maybe it's got 1-2 floors left in it.
Above
Bridge.
ground.
What was that, sir?
1 or 2 floors above ground, but would you say this tower was out of the way of the town? Away from maybe prying eyes?
Mile or so? Maybe 2.
If there's a place to bring.
A lot of farmland from edge of town to that tower.
If I was someone trying to hide away people asking too many questions, I would put them on the outskirts of town, away from prying eyes. Maybe beneath a watchtower with a cellar or dungeon. That may look dilapidated at first glance.
It also chimes in. It wouldn't have a cellar or anything like that. Not that close to the water.
Right, it would get flooded.
Perhaps you're right. But still,
That
it is too much
Talking-
conjecture.
talking about what's underneath. He looks at Yona. Does town have a sewer system? He nods. He looks at you, Alexander. You remember my hometown sewer system. A lot of places died.
He's nodding slowly.
Being in a position of authority would make it a lot easier to remove people without being questioned.
Yarnoff, do you and your crew have any idea about the sewer systems? You ever hide down there?
We do, but don't exactly want roam around though. He looks around, like double checking that it's just friends here.
Fine.
We have some safe houses down there. Little, small hideaways, nothing so romantic as what you see in novels and such. Little squat things, but they work. And that's all that matters.
Indeed it is.
If you ever find yourself down there, we have some inscriptions, chalk, etched on the sides. Use them to find your way. He looks at Amber. She's rather well versed in it, I'm sure. She does like a 2-finger flick salute, like, yo. If you guys are familiar with Thieves' Cant, you probably have an idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think Alessandro
like
kinda-
Speaking of which, the mayor's assistant mentioned a, to them, obscure criminal element in town. Do we know anything about that?
You're enough to start cringes at that. Hi, it's me, the obscure criminal element in town. Hey, if you guys want to get in good with the mayor right now, I'm just saying.
Ah.
Well, in that case.
You're under arrest.
Yep.
It's like a was it Ramsay or Bolton house thing in Game of Thrones. We tricked you. You thought there was hope, but we robbed you of it.
Yep.
There are some other things gotta give a report on, sir.
Sure.
So, road leading towards the lake, northwest part of town, towards the eastern part, where that looks at Morgan, big tray is. We found some bodies.
Fresh.
Nah, not fresh. Picked over, sun bleached, the works. These two over there, he gestures at Altani and Dover, did a quick once over on the place. And, well, Trey's magic, but he looks at Vasa like how do you describe it? The tree's magic, but not spellbound. If that makes sense. We don't know the exact reason for it. Our running theory is it's sat upon some ley line intersection, causing it to grow bigger than its neighbors. Happens relatively common, especially out here. There's a reason the Fairlands are supposedly where fairies come from, right? But while these two were scoping over the tree, Vincent was scoping over what's on it. And I was doing a walk around the place, and he just said Zol and Oscar, those two were on their way back from the stops.
You know. The moose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
just
if
get
you
like
guys
a really like a
We didn't
annoying nod
encounter
to
the
like
moose.
Yeah.
I'm
That
assuming you
was
guys
Morgan
debriefed
initiative.
each other, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably mentioned.
Or else you guys
I
wouldn't know
mean-
anything about the mayor or the aide.
yeah.
So I'm assuming you guys are all debriefed.
I'd assume like that would be the first thing Anushka would bring up. Like, oh my god, they were riding a moose.
A moose.
You'll never believe it.
Let it be known, as I was building Zolshi, he has all the mechanical aspects to actually tackle a moose now.
Oh my god.
He
so
has he's counted as a large-sized creature. He has double the physical capacity, and he has advantage on all strength-based checks.
oh my
And
god.
he
So
cannot
can suplex
roll-
a fucking moose.
He cannot roll below a 9 on those checks.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
even if
so
you
he
roll
actually
strong,
can.
it's like
He
9
actually
plus
has like the mechanical backing of like tackling a moose and shit.
I'm so fucking glad.
That's yeah.
It's fucking empowering.
I'd like
So,
to see you shake this man.
anyways, so Vasa continues the account. Well, I guess it'd probably be Vincent because Vasa fell out of the tree, unfortunately. But don't worry, someone had to roll bad.
Yeah.
But Vaso has a version a capability similar to slow fall.
Right.
Oh.
Good.
Makes sense.
His account, his words, his testimony on that would be family's techniques finally paying off, I suppose. Because when you're riding a flying dragon, you don't want to get launched off. But if you are, you
You're
don't want to
ready
get
for it.
splat on the ground. So
Very true.
You learn how to
But,
not die
yeah.
instantly.
Vincent and Delva were the ones that did the surgical elements of the first body. Or that, not surgical, the coroner elements of the first body. It was far lower than the other body, which Altani had to be the most dexterous one there, go up and retrieve. But the accounts are relatively similar. Both abilities got, no flesh on them left to examine, unfortunately. Either picked away by scavengers or other elements. All we got left are the bones. He gestures at a point at the back of his neck. Bite marks towards the back of the neck. Predominantly two, but saw some scraping. Don't know if it's from the same two teeth trying to get a proper bite hold or other teeth. Right.
Acting off on it?
No, same direction.
Oh.
Vertebrae 6 and below. He gestures at where vertebrae 6 is and swings his finger down to the back of his spine.
Just quickly Google them. Trace it.
To those of you that are trained in medicine, which I don't know if any of you are, off the top of my head, that's the scans across you. You get 7 on your 1 through 5 vertebrae, you're dead. That's it. 6 and below, however, you get to live. But everything below that vertebrae, he just does a chopping motion, is out. No control. You can still fail, but you can't control it.
Right.
So
So the person was barely
paralyzed
alive.
and strung up in a tree.
They're probably more equivocal to a vegetable that can scream, but yeah.
Eating like a spider.
Maybe a spider. But
Alive enough to feel.
mandibles of a spider go pretty fucking deep. They ain't a spider, I don't reckon. Something else. Okay, I'm just gonna say, the fucking beholder in the room. Is it a fucking vampire thing? Amber's like, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah, we were thinking it.
I imagine there's no uniform teeth layout of a vampire. There are different types of vampire, I
mean,
imagine.
If it's they're primarily based off of human
Grimaces at the mention of different types of vampires.
Yeah.
I imagine they're primarily humanoid forms, so they would probably follow a similar bite pattern, but with certain protrusions. Lack of better terms.
Going autopsy, it's a bit more angular, pointed.
Pointed out.
Yeah,
Is that more
like
like a
a
snake bite?
Like a canines, almost.
something like that. Not quite there, but it doesn't have the
Sharp.
full. It's not like a crocodile or nothing like that. And it doesn't have the full length of like a canine snout, but something on the way there.
Interesting.
Can't exactly place it, but
Well,
I
like
never
that
seen
or
anything like it.
something.
Would
That's
anyone
Mm,
here
that's-
be able to roll to try and place it? There's a maybe for like 2.
Yeah.
Officer, maybe? I know he's not a seeker, but he might have encountered something similar.
Yeah.
Vincent, would that kind of bite pattern be possible if I hate calling it human, but if a human jaw could sort of open and distend like a snake?
Could be possible, but doesn't got the puncture capability.
Hmm.
Yeah. It went through a
Don't have
good bit
bite
of
power.
flesh to get to that vertebrae.
Ah,
And
Who's trained in nature?
Anushka
I
is.
don't believe so,
Nope.
but I'll check anyway.
Roll. Those of you proficient in nature roll at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Dice gods, I pray to
I
you.
can
now.
add
Wait, no, I can't. Never mind.
Yeah, there's like a zoology school in the Maestro Academy. That zoology class doesn't like it goes beyond mundane animals. So if you took that class, you'd probably be golden here. Unfortunately, none of you guys are Maestro students. So, Anushka, there's so many things, so many variables that you guys don't have insights on to properly say definitively anything.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
could probably
I can
begin
do that.
eliminating certain things, right?
Mhm.
Snake and stuff like that. He probably didn't get eaten by a frog bite, right? Stuff like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
But
mhm.
that's really not adding much to the conversation in terms of
Yeah.
like this is a possible way forward. It's more of a we're just mitigating our misdirections.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
and I
what
imagine
we're
they're quite
saying.
different from like the ones that she came in contact with as well, I reckon. The sounds of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
Yeah, so not much in that front, I'm afraid.
Oh well.
And you say that all the bodies there were all skeletons, sun bleached.
That's right.
So
Oh, and what that's
Been there a while.
been that way for a while. So none of them were recent enough to have been from any of the more recent farmers markets, which doesn't necessarily rule out it being connected, but doesn't lend credence to it.
I swear
Now-
to the gods, if there's some big bat in that fucking tree that y'all just didn't see, I'm mad. I'm gonna be real
my
mad.
God.
A big mad mode.
Don't
just-
they want to run into a big bat?
We are 100% confident there was not a big bat in that tree.
Insight check. Hold on, I didn't have anything ticked off.
I believe them.
Also
She is 100% confident they did not see a big bat in that tree.
excellent.
My God.
They did see one. They just chose to ignore because out of fear.
Yeah.
No, they're good. Here's a question: Did they have any like equipment or I don't know clothing or anything on them?
Buck.
No. Was there any like old scratch marks or like broken like branches and stuff on the tree?
Not that we saw.
Hmm.
Tree seemed pretty. It looks all tawny, untouched, undisturbed.
Is it possible that they may have dropped the corpse off after they fed, killed it, whatever? Stripped it? It was just hanging over, right?
No, not hanging over like limply. No, they were laid parallel across the branch. Pretty well hidden.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Some kind of sacrifice, or just a form of torture?
Garbage disposal.
Torturous existence.
It's a dumping ground. Garbage disposal.
Right.
Yeah, but then
Why
there'll be
go
more
through the
corpses,
effort of
right?
place them on the tree?
And don't they
Why
torture?
Because they want the person to suffer.
Why not just dig a tree? Or dig a ditch?
Probably don't want to get their hands dirty.
I have
Or
an
some other
idea.
sadistic thing. Oh, God.
Let's hear.
This land that we're in, there is something about it. This is. Oscar chimes in. The place is desecrated. All this. Don't know how far there. He looks like a sigh. Miles. Far out. Cuts into the forestry too.
Right.
I do not go near this tree, but you're thinking maybe it's the only good thing left in the place. Maybe. I'm lost. Oh, Tani like holds up a hand like, I don't get it. Like, teacher, please explain it to me.
The land we're
means-
standing on. Oh, go on.
Well, if they're depositing the dead in a fucking tree, then that's a way to
Like,
desecrate it.
corrupt
Whole land's no good, and that tree's gonna follow in its footsteps. Unless we find out what's doing there and stop it. If the land is desecrating, that does lead credence to it being connected to these vampires. Now, I may not have a lot of insight on vampires and the like, but if I were a vampire, I wouldn't want to be walking around holy ground.
You guys can hear Lizzie like side whisper to Amber. Wish we had a silver blood right now. She, like, both are like, shut up. Of course, we all do.
Yeah, no shit. We all wish we had the easy out.
Silverbloods have like a constant thing. It's like a potion in Witcher where it's like, oh, a vampire tries to drink my blood, they get poisoned.
Shit.
Good job, idiot. You played yourself.
Fuck.
Okay. Is there anything else? Any other information you guys gathered about the area?
The land that is more than desecrated. I saw the nearby animals. They're either very, to say the common, they are spooked, or they're very calm,
Like supernaturally, or
more than they should be. This land is new. This town is new. Animals should not have gotten used to people yet. They are scared.
maybe they know there's something else.
Scared but not skittish.
I'm not following. They're scared but also calm. Like Iverson like tilts his head at the peculiar way of describing it. And some animals I saw were more calm. To the point where I could just go up to them and they would not run away. But others would, I don't know, blitz as soon as they saw a person despite being like 3 times their size. Yes.
Looks to Zal, the moose wrestler.
Yes. He looks at Oscar. I fucking told you it was my fault. I don't know if that's exactly 100% the reasons, all, but sure.
But it's leaning more towards 60 at this point, right?
I'm not a number cruncher.
Is there a pattern to the types of animals that were calm versus the ones that were not?
Or maybe
What
the
an
area
interesting
that they live in?
question. What an interesting question. Allow me to roll. For Kasai.
It'd be really fun if it was the predator animals. Yeah, moose? No, moose.
Moose are not predator animals, but they are considered
Yeah.
at the top of the chain.
Yeah,
that makes
they're
sense.
not
Because there's nothing that
just prey
predates. There's nothing that predates on
They're
them.
huge. Yeah. Like to see you find something that can kill a goddamn moose. That's not a gun.
They also don't
I
just
was gonna say,
exclusively run
Felix's
away.
gun. Oh, my bad.
A mama
I've been
moose?
forgetting
That's,
this whole time.
My uncle was
roll
once
to public?
chased by a mama moose. He had to escape up a tree.
Even then, if you don't climb
That's
high enough,
solid.
they'll still get you.
Why
fucking
didn't
solid.
that? Oh, I just didn't put a die roll on it. I just put the name in. Keck.
Hi.
Nice.
Oh, that's fun.
Thanks, Logan.
20, was that 5?
Yep.
Yeah, 25. I can do math, I swear, Aziz.
Me too.
Me too.
Happy 420, y'all.
For you.
What? East Coast.
For the East Coast 420. So 25. She thinks on it. It did matter. She like gets this not grimace, but just sort of scowl on her face. The smarter animals were the ones that were calmer. The less smart ones were the ones more skittish.
Right. I mean, that would match with the effects that are mentioned about the town. Humans are typically smarter than animals. So maybe they're under the similar docile types of effects to not notice the vampires.
Maybe.
Could be that, or could just be that they're smart enough to not make any sudden movements when people that look like the thing that they're afraid of, vampires, start walking up to you.
Hmm.
That, or they are the townsfolk turned into animals, which is a far-fetched theory, but at this point we can't really rule anything out.
Did we know that Great Grandfather Redwoods had like transformed people?
No.
Okay, never mind then.
You guys never
Have a
learned that
comment, though, have a
information.
Yeah.
Regardless, put that on the list, but at the very bottom.
Very, very. Hopefully, very far down there.
Right below, right below everyone in town being a secret vampire.
Oh shit! Didn't even think of that one.
I think that
Murnoff's eyes like widen at that.
Why would
Like,
you say
I
this
never,
to the man?
Like, I didn't think of it like that, but now that you say that, I really hope that's not true.
He's just like,
It's a
wait,
joke,
am I the
son."
freak human here?
Your
Am I the
paranoia
secret human?
unlocked.
I was
Soul
gonna say,
Survivor.
it's a joke, son. In fact, Morgan there can actually smell vampires. She should have caught a whiff for one. Don't worry.
She
Roll
just gives like a
deception.
little affirming nod. It's like, yep,
Roll
totally.
deception.
I want to give a verdict, but I only have one left.
It's less
Oh,
smell and
no.
more like an aura
Oh!
sense kind of thing. It's like a monk thing.
I don't have any heroic inspirations left.
Oh,
Quick, someone get in a fight with me. I'll get one back now.
Morgan
And
punches
she
square in the
just, like,
jaw.
covers him over the face.
You're like, hit me, starts punches you square in the face.
Oh, yeah.
It does not count as combat because the punch was so weak. Anyways.
Damn.
Boo! So, that's your guys' reports from your NPCs. The people out in encampment didn't really do too much. Kasai just sort of wandered off for one reason or another. And detected the energy of the land.
Oh, the energy. Did Kasai notice the animals that were calm versus spooked, like in certain areas, or was it just like
This is all
level
forest around here.
intelligence? Yeah. Okay.
This is all forestry, no mountainscapes or anything like that.
Well, sorry. Let me clarify what I mean. Not by like biome, but by like within 100-foot area, within like a different 100-foot area, kind of thing.
no difference. There's a threshold by which this energy does begin fading, but she didn't venture that far out.
They're sort of like sprinkled throughout. I see.
Well, it's just more of every animal in the region
Right.
that she saw was like that.
Was
Has one
smarter.
of these two options.
Not smarter, but was under one of those effects, depending on if, like if it was dumber,
How stupid versus
then
smart.
it was spooked. If it was smarter, it was calmer.
Docile.
And it was sort of random which was which. There's no like rhyme or reason to, oh, this smarter animal is in this area with the other smarter animals and all the dumb ones are
No.
here.
No, they did not have a de facto segregation.
Gotcha. Well then, we have a few leads. Iverson, we'll try to see what we can learn about your condition. See if we can glean anything that might help us prevent it affecting us when the time comes. The rest of us will have to investigate, try and see if we can find where people disappeared to. Yonov, since the last farmers market, has anyone gone missing?
Thinks about it, shakes his head. No.
Well then, whoever was taken prior to that is likely already disposed of. I would imagine that if someone was asking questions, you wouldn't want to keep them alive. One more mouth to feed.
It stands to reason, then, Isidore sort of chimes in, we should all watch our back. No splitting